I remember the first time I walked into Anjette's restaurant. The air was thick with the smell of frying bacon, the kind that clung to your clothes and made your stomach rumble even if you weren't hungry. But it wasn't just the food that drew me in. It was her. Anjette, the golden-haired goddess of Macon, Georgia, stood at the entrance, her blue satin dress shimmering under the fluorescent lights. She greeted every customer with a warmth that felt almost too good to be true. When she hugged me, her perfume was overpowering, sweet like honeysuckle but with an undertone I couldn't place. "Darlin', you come on in and make yourself at home," she said, her red lips curling into a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. I became a regular at Anjette's. Everyone did. It was the place to be. Her bacon balls were legendary, and her lemonade was the perfect mix of sweet and tart. But it was more than the food. It was her. She had this way of making you feel special, like you were the only person in the room. I noticed, though, that the sparkle in her eyes dimmed when she spoke about her family. Her eldest daughter, Marcia, often sat in a corner booth coughing into a handkerchief. I asked Anjette about it once, and her response sent a chill down my spine. "She'll be with her daddy soon enough," she said, laughing softly as she stirred a pitcher of lemonade. "Some folks just aren't made for this world." I didn't know what to say. Something about the way she said it, too casual, too indifferent, made my skin crawl. The whispers started after Marcia died. People said tragedy followed Anjette like a shadow. Her first husband, Ben, had dropped dead of a mysterious illness. Then her second husband, Buddy. Even her mother-in-law, Julia, wasn't spared. And now Marcia. Each time, Anjette was the picture of composure, dressed in black, accepting condolences with a practiced grace. But there was always that same refrain. Thank God they had insurance. It was a cook at the restaurant who finally tipped off the authorities. Rumors swirled that he'd seen Anjette slipping something into her victim's food, always from the same small vial she kept in her purse. When the coroner tested Marcia's body, the results were undeniable. Arsenic in quantities that would have made a rat drop dead on the spot. The trial was the talk of the town. I sat in the courtroom, unable to stay away, listening to the damning testimonies. Former employees recounted how Anjette would vanish into the bathroom with plates of food and return with a sly smile. A nurse testified that Anjette had laughed when told Marcia might recover. "Well, that's disappointing," she had said, already having ordered a tiny coffin. And then there was the will. Julia's will, a clear forgery, left everything to Anjette. It was the nail in the coffin, so to speak. When the jury delivered their verdict, the room was silent. Guilty. The judge's gavel came down like thunder, sentencing her to death. But the town's leaders intervened. They wouldn't let Macon be the first to execute a white woman. Instead, she was declared insane and sent to the state hospital. Years passed, but I couldn't forget her. Sometimes I'd drive by the hospital in Milledgeville, wondering if she was still alive, still spinning her web of lies. They said she entertained the other patients by telling fortunes and teaching witchcraft. It sounded like a fitting punishment, but part of me wondered if it was enough. I got my answer one night when I visited her grave. It was December, the air cold enough to bite at my skin. Her tombstone was simple, unassuming, but standing there I felt it again, that sickly sweet smell of her perfume. It was faint, but unmistakable. I turned to leave, my breath visible in the frosty air, and that's when I heard it. A soft, melodic hum, the same tune she used to sing while cooking at the restaurant. My blood ran cold. I didn't wait to see if the sound would grow louder. I ran, the crunch of leaves underfoot mixing with the ghostly melody. They say Anjette died in that hospital, but I'm not so sure. Some shadows linger and some smiles hide teeth. I haven't been back to Macon since.